This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at tombernardshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Liar. That's all I have to say to Amy. Lie, you liar. It's not that easy. No, I was just telling these guys that I ran into a bunch of people yesterday that they're from Minnesota originally. They're moving out of the state, apparently. They're retiring or whatever it was. But I met them yesterday, and it was very, very nice people, really nice. I don't want to give their last name because I didn't get permission to do that, but okay. I was talking to them about this. Oh, my God, I listen every day to you for almost 40 years, and it was magnificent. And I wish you still had a show. I said, well, you can listen to podcasts. I don't listen to podcasts. I'm like, it's not that hard to do. I don't know if you know that. I think a lot of people in, I don't know, maybe the over 60 age range, maybe it's older than that, they just do not have a desire to even approach podcasts. It's not that hard. It's just go click and you're there.
Yeah. No, it's not that hard, but also I kind of understand where they're coming from because there'll definitely be some things that are newer, whether it's new social media platforms and things like that, where I'm just like, I don't even want to attend.
Yeah.
Like I'm just done with it.
Exactly right. But yeah, I run into listeners all the time and I go, you got Bluetooth in your car. It's not that hard. I'm just here to tell you they think it's very difficult. And it's like, I don't know, building a rocket ship or something. I don't know what the hell it is, but they think it's very difficult to do. Yeah. So we got to somehow figure out. I got to talk to Ginny Hubbard and make her go out and carry a sign on how to do it. What do you think?
It's that older generation. They're so lazy. They don't want to know.
Right.
It's changed, and so I understand that it's probably a little overwhelming at first. But it's not like it's we're not trying to have you learn open heart surgery here. It's a couple buttons. That's it.
And then you get the younger guys who are with them, like these people, and then their kids and all the rest of it. And they, of course, are going, I don't listen to the radio. Well, when were you on the radio? They've never listened to the radio in their lives. It's like, holy God. That's quite the gap we have there, ladies and gentlemen.
Big divide.
A friend of mine named Dougie Dawson. He lives in Toronto, Canada. He's been a friend of mine for like 27 years. Just a great guy, big listener. So, like I said, he lives in Toronto, but he still listens to the morning show. He listens to this show. He sent me something this morning and went, Dougie, could you become like the chief writer on all shows I ever do? Doug is one of those kind of guys who's got a great sense of humor, right? Mm-hmm. I'll give you an example. His name is Doug Dawson, and I won't say her name because I keep other things private. But his wife's name starts with a D as well. So if his name is Doug Dawson and her name is Dee Dawson, what's her nickname for every golfer on the planet? You ready?
Go ahead.
Hey, where's Double D?
Get
it? See, get it? How clever golfers really are. Oh, yeah. Call his wife Double D. Like, thanks a lot.
Yeah, and I'm sure she loves it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure she just absolutely loves it. This is what Dougie Dawson said. Dougie, good morning. I'm sure you listen. Thank you, sir. It's always been very supportive, no question. Actual court documents. Now, these are actual court documents taken from the court stenographer. How do court stenographers keep a straight face? These are from a book there's an actual book out called Disorder in the Court. We may have to order a copy if it's as good as this. And are things people actually said in court, word for word, taken down and published by court reporters that had the torment of staying calm while the exchanges were taking place. These are all real. They're in the book. And the book, again, is called Disorder in the Court. Yeah, we got to reach out and get a copy of that book. Okay, you ready for the first one?
Ready.
I'll just kind of spread them out through the morning because we only got about, a few minutes left here. So I'll do a few here and we'll spread them out.
Well, actually, really quick, we're going to have I just got word here. Quick last second notice from Mr. Eggert himself. He's out sick today. He just let me know. So we're going to have his segment open. So that'll be a good time to really power.
More.
Yeah. Well,
I am sick of him, though. Just because he's sick, I'm sick of him, too. Why don't I get a vote?
Yeah, I might have misread his text because he's either out sick or he's sick of us. I'm not
sick of us. It could be. You're absolutely right. Could be right on the money. Okay, this first one, I just glanced down at it because I have only looked at a couple of these because they're too good. I'd like to have a natural reaction to them.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And these, again, are real. There's a book out. They're real. Attorney, what gear were you in at the moment of impact? Witness, Gucci sweats and Reeboks. And he was serious. These people are serious, by the way. They're not joking around. They're not messing. What gear were you in? Well, my gear, Gucci sweats and Reeboks. That's my gear. Really? Okay, sorry. Attorney, are you sexually active? Witness, no, I just lie there.
Oh, God. Tell on yourself, pal.
I love this stuff so much. And there are tons of them that Dougie sent me. Attorney, what is your date of birth? Witness, July 18th. Attorney, what year? Witness, every year. Okay. You see, when Uncle Tommy says 95% of people are so damn dumb, it's unbelievable. Is this enough evidence for you?
Yeah, there's some, and I get it. Probably being on the witness stand is
Right,
a little nerve wracking, and you're
True.
not fully functioning brain at sometimes. But yeah, you gotta every year, or what gear were you in? Gucci slides or sweatpants?
What gear were you? Oh, I have great gear. All right, I know we got to get going in about a minute here, so I'll do a couple more and we'll move on. What year? Every year. My birthday's on July 18th.
That's wild.
It is unbelievable. Attorney, how old is your son, the one living with you? 38 or 35? I can't remember which. Attorney, how long has he lived with you? For 45 years.
That math isn't adding up.
No, that math is not math. No.
That's not right. So he's either 38 or 35, but he's lived with me for 45 years. Do you know how bothered Andy would be if I had no idea how old he was? I mean, how do you not know the age of your own son or daughter, for Christ's sake?
Yeah, birth of a child seems to be a kind of a landmark that you don't forget. But I guess, maybe he's got a lot of kids.
Oh, God. Okay, this is wonderful. We'll close with this one because we've got to move on. Phil Mackey's going to join us in a couple of minutes. Attorney, now, doctor, isn't it true that when a person dies in his sleep, he doesn't know about it until the next morning? The attorney actually asked that question. I'll ask it again. This is an actual question from an attorney. Now, doctor, isn't it true that when a person dies in his sleep, he doesn't know about it until the next morning? Witness, did you actually pass the bar exam?
That is a valid question.
It really is. There are tons of these. Thank you again to Dougie Dawson. Sunny Doug is his nickname because he's always in such a great mood. His nickname is Sunny Doug, lives in Toronto, Canada. A dear friend of mine for, God, almost 30 years now. We shall take a break. We'll sprinkle those in. Those are, you guys like those as much as I do, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, they're phenomenal. We'll spread them in, sprinkle them in throughout the morning. Take a break right here. Be back. Got some basketball, got some baseball to talk with Phil coming up in a couple minutes. Other things, of course, too. Minnesota business owners pay too much in taxes. You know that. You don't have to take my word for it. The Tax Foundation just released its State Business Tax Climate Index, and Minnesota is near the bottom with the 45th worst tax climate in the United States. When you expand or relocate your business to Sioux Falls, I love Sioux Falls, but it's a great town, you'll be basking in the second best tax climate in the nation. That's just one reason why, no matter what size business you own, you're going to do something you want to do. You can increase your profits in Sioux Falls. We've got the proof at SiouxFallsDevelopment.com. In Sioux Falls, our safe streets, award-winning schools, short commutes, vibrant, growing downtown, and pro-business attitude are all attractive reasons to make your move. And we've got a motivated workforce that's ready to help your business grow. Escape the high taxes of Minnesota by planning your expansion or relocation to Sioux Falls. 2024 is the time to make your move to Sioux Falls. Check out SiouxFallsDevelopment.com.
Is that text you're sending so important that you missed your turn? Is that text you're sending so important that you ran the red light? Is that text you're sending so important you didn't see the ball coming onto the road or the child that followed? Hi, I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. When you take your eyes off the road for even 4 seconds, your vehicle travels 100 yards. That's the entire length of a football field. If you absolutely have to text, you need to pull off the road somewhere safe and do it from there. Texting and driving is against the law and can cause serious injury or even death to you and others. Now that is important. We hope you're never injured in a collision, but if you are, please contact us.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Going farther with Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
What do you think of that action, ladies and gentlemen? Talked to Michael Bryant yesterday for quite some time. He was having fun, might have been watching a little baseball in the stadium, if you know what I'm saying. Let's take a second to talk about my bank, and that would be, of course, North American Banking Company. Look, there is no shortage of banking options in the Twin Cities. If you're tired of just being a number to your big national bank, be sure to talk to my friends at North American Banking Company. They offer the same online and mobile banking options as other banks, but with the unparalleled service of a community bank. I also like being able to go to any of their 6 Twin Cities locations, Roseville, 50th and France, Hastings, Woodbury, Shoreview, and Maple Grove. So if you're looking for a better banking experience, why not bank with my friends at North American Banking Company? Go to nabankco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Don't you just love Bilski? You know what I'm saying. Okay, what's that say on your shirt? I can't see it. It looks like a moon or something.
Nick at Night.
Oh, it's a Nick at Night shirt. I love Nick at Night. Those
Nick
were
at
the
Night,
days.
man. Yeah. So I grew up, I'm a 90s kid. And so Nick at Night for me in the 90s was like I Love Lucy, the Dick Van Dyke Show.
Yeah, yep.
All those shows from like the 50s, 60s, early 70s. I don't know what, I mean, it's scary now. A, does Nick at Night even exist anymore? And they'd be showing sitcoms from like the 2000s probably.
Yep, it's true.
Like they'd be showing like Friends reruns on Nick at Night, which is probably what they show.
You just gave me one of the great memories of my life, and I don't remember who the stand-up comedian was. He was very, very funny, but he was talking about the Dick Van Dyke Show and how much he loved it as a kid. And he went on for a couple of minutes. He went, but I wasn't going to do this, but I got to go back and tell you because we were, like 12, 13 years old. We watched the Dick Van Dyke Show and all loved it and all the rest of it. Said, but we had to do it. We did not call it the Dick Van Dyke Show. We called it Penis Van Lesbian.
Wow. There you go.
Jesus. Really?
Do you think they tested that in the
I don't know.
little focus group? What if we called it? What if we changed the name, tweaked it just a little bit?
I mean, honest to God, Dick Van Dyke's still alive, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he made an appearance like in the last couple years on an award show.
Yep.
Is he 100?
He's got to be real near it. If he's not 100, he's got to be sliding that way.
He's 98.
98 years old.
Doesn't look a day over 96, too.
You're damn right.
In these photos.
He was hilarious. That show was phenomenal. I mean, they had great characters. It was just kind of like the Lucy show before that, and you got some shows after that, of course. Beginning with All in the Family was an amazing family show. Those family shows tend to be pretty good if they're written properly.
I'm just Googling Nick at Night lineup in the 90s, too. Oh, they've got a full Wikipedia page devoted to this.
Oh, by the way, Tevin, we cannot hear you. I saw you talking, but we couldn't hear you. Yeah,
you're muted. Looks like you're muted on.
Yeah, you're muted. Your
computer there.
Muted.
If you could just pantomime what you want to tell us.
Yeah, how about like that?
Can you can you spell it out in the air for us? It'd be great. Oh, by the way, current programming on Nick at Night does indeed include Friends. If you want to feel.
Friends, a good show too.
Really
it's so
outdated.
sad that he's dead now. God, that's too bad.
Yeah, could he be any more dead? I mean,
ooh, that's a very good impression. I like it.
A little Chandler Bing for
you. Hey, AJ, you with us? He's not listening.
He's frozen.
Oh, and he's frozen too.
It's you and me.
Oh my God! What?
Oh, there's no pilot flying the plane, Tom. It's just you and me.
Now I know why people want me to be back on the radio. It's like Jesus. Tevin's talking up a storm, can't hear a word he's saying. I'm looking over and it looks like AJ's reading the Star Tribune or something. You may as well stop talking because we can't hear you.
Yeah. It's great. Tom and I are like, we're just in the back on this great. We're flying. Let's go check on the pilots. They're passed out in the cockpit. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's not good. I got to be honest with you, it's not a good thing. But we'll get her under control. I'm Tevin. Would you talk to?
Yeah,
talk to
he's
AJ?
yeah he's we're definitely still on. They're just trying to figure out the
I
StreamYard
see.
thing. There's a man. I'm on a rabbit hole right now, Tom. So another one of the shows that I used to watch on Nick at Night was that show with the dolphin called Flipper.
Oh, Flipper, yeah. Yep.
Family Ties is another one that showed
Love
up on
Family
Nick at Night.
Ties. No question.
Michael
about
J.
it.
Fox. Oh my God.
Tevin just keeps on talking. I just love when he's talking, even though we can't hear him.
I think he's talking to. I'm pretty sure he's talking to AJ, isn't he?
I don't know. He's whipping his hands around a lot for just talking to AJ. I will tell you that. I think this definitely pushed me over talk. I think I'm going to shut this studio down. There's too many problems.
What the one back in Minnesota?
One in St. Louis Park. Those guys can just work out of Hubbard, and I'll just work out of my house because there's just too many. It's every week there are problems with this thing.
When did you move into that studio?
About 5 years ago.
You
it
used to
always
have a
worked
studio in like the North Loop area, right?
I did. Yeah, right, just above Acme Comedy.
Okay, because I remember one time I got my taxes done in that building one time, and on the way out, the guy was like, "Oh, do you want to see the Tom Barnard studios? They're just over here down the hallway."
Oh, he's taking people in. What, do you have a key?
No, he didn't like have a key. We just like walked around sort of I don't know if there was glass or whatnot. It's like,
Some
there's
deal.
the Tom Barnard studios.
AJ, are we back at it?
Yeah, we had our router decided to just reboot itself. So
Tevin is muted. Tevin's muted too. We got to take care
Nope.
of that.
Can you hear me?
Nope.
Oh, he's back now. He's back.
Oh, now he's back. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Why does it say he's still muted then?
So you have to, because those guys are in the same studio, all of the microphone stuff comes out of AJ's part of the screen.
Yep.
We would get
Yeah,
Tevin in stereo if he was unmuted on our screens right now.
Yeah, I think in the next couple of months or so, it's time to close that studio down. There's just too many. It's problems every week with it.
Yeah.
Didn't used to be, but there are now. So you guys can work out of the Hubbard anyway, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not sure if any of your guys' conversation you just had went through because we weren't able.
We're having a great time. We're talking about Nick at Night here. We're talking about Dragnet and Gilligan's Island. It's great.
The interesting thing is it's going to work out great for the YouTube audience because that audio is coming out of StreamYard, but people listening live right now in the audio, that's going to be just Tevin and I talking about, I think our internet's
Honest to God. So is it, why?
We could see you guys, and it looked like you guys were having a great conversation.
We were
laughing and having a ball.
having
And
a good
yeah,
one.
we could hear you, and obviously you guys couldn't hear us, but I think everything is fixed now. So
Sorry, June, July, August. Yeah, I'll probably keep it open for 90 more days, and I'm just going to shut it down and move out. It's just there's too many problems. There's always a problem. Didn't used to be. I don't know what the hell. We were in there for 5 years. It never used to have problems. What happened? Do you think?
I have no idea, but there's always something it feels like going on in this building, like construction.
Yeah.
Is it
bad-
haunted? Is that building haunted? Do we think?
Maybe. Oh, you know who had that office before I did was Randy Shaver. So maybe he threw his hatred and just so it would stick to the wall. Randy's never liked me. I've never understood it. I think he's just he's got something going on. He's never cared for me.
Oh, I see him in the background unplugging the internet cord. Oh,
Yeah,
there he
see?
is behind AJ.
There you. He retired, didn't he? Somebody told me you retired.
He's retiring in June, I believe.
Oh, in
from
June.
Care 11.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. There you have it, ladies and
Hey,
gentlemen.
can I rant for a second?
Oh, I'd love to hear you rant.
I woke up first of all, the Timberwolves absolutely magnificent in game 1 on the road. They steal game 1 in Denver. They jump out to an 18-4 lead. They kind of blew it, and then they built back up. Anthony Edwards has just been this magnificent force. He's been the best player in the playoffs. And people are comparing him just at age 22 to what Michael Jordan used to look like at that age, and it's all great. And then you wake up this morning, and I'm flipping around the national sports shows, and the first thing I see, and I'm not even going to name the show because it doesn't matter, but the first thing I see is a segment about how Minnesota people seem really nice, but you're going to lose Anthony Edwards to either New York or L.A. at some point. We love to do this to the small markets when it comes to, if there's an athlete in Milwaukee or in a small podunk town somewhere, we need to save them from these small rickety towns and make sure they can put a New York Knicks uniform on, even though the Knicks haven't won a championship in like 60 years either. So this god complex from New York and Los Angeles when it comes to sports. So the national media discovers Anthony Edwards for the first time a week and a half ago.
Right.
Oh, look at this guy. Oh, this is great. Like within a week, we've gone from, oh, who's Anthony Edwards? Oh, he might be Michael Jordan, to let's get him out of Minnesota and save his career and send him to the New York Knicks. Give me a break.
I understand exactly what you're saying. It's been going on my entire life, to tell you the truth. I suppose, well, and it did. Same thing happened basically all back in the 1920s with Babe Ruth. You can't play in Boston. It's not big enough. You have to come to New York.
Right.
Same thing.
It literally happened before we had cars, right? It was like people are on horse and buggy like, that market's too small. We must get Babe Ruth. We must save George Herman Ruth.
It's true. It's been going on for 150 years. Probably been going on for thousands of years, I would imagine.
Yeah. I mean, are we still trying to make sure that Tim Duncan is saved from San Antonio? that Giannis Antetokounmpo, we got to get him out of Milwaukee. He might, oh man, he's going to be a nobody. Like, it's ridiculous. So on Twitter today, I started putting together a list of, and people are helping me out, who are the star players in the NBA and in sports that we must save from these small markets?
Right.
And make sure that the Yankees, the Lakers, the Knicks, the New York Rangers all have all of the top superstars, even if they're just sitting on the bench. Give me a break.
Oh, I know, but you know what's like that? I'm sure you guys have been through this as well. Offered jobs in New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, but you like living in Minneapolis, St. Paul, so you go, no, what? Hey, look, KQ Morning Show was huge. We were offered jobs everywhere in the United States. Like, first of all, it's the highest rated show in America. Why would we leave here to come there if we're already the highest rated in the country?
Yeah, you didn't need to leave. By the way, Anthony Edwards is going to make the same amount of money, actually more money, staying in Minnesota, because you can offer your own player extra money through the NBA's collective bargaining agreement. And so, by the way, this is the other funny thing. Got to make sure we get Anthony Edwards from Podunk, Minneapolis, St. Paul to New York City so that maybe he can get some national endorsements or a movie deal. He's been in 2 movies already. He starred in an Adam Sandler movie a couple summers ago. He's already on 5 different national campaigns for national products. Unless he really at some point just wants to live in New York City, or if he wants to live, in Laguna or whatever, I get it, but I don't know. It's such a lazy talker. If you don't know what else to say, I guess, about a guy from Milwaukee or Minneapolis, you just start talking about what he'd look like in a Knicks uniform and hook people in that way.
No, I got to be honest with you. I lived in New York. I thought it was wonderful. Lived in Chicago. Thought that was great, too. Spent some time in L.A. Didn't really care for that. I didn't dislike it, but I didn't like it as much as New York or Chicago. They're great towns. But if you're already kicking ass and doing well, why would you leave?
Yeah. If you enjoy it. He's also on the record saying, LA, New York, those are fine, but I love it here. And if they don't trade me, we're all good. So, plus, wouldn't it be more fun? And he's doing it. He might do it this year. They might win a championship. To elevate a franchise that's been worthless for 35 years and be the face of putting a franchise that basically didn't exist until this season, right? And putting them on the map as the best team in the NBA. I mean, to me, that's a more fun accomplishment than being the 20th guy on the list in Lakers history.
Yeah. If he wins, when he wins a championship here in Minnesota, there will be a statue outside of Target Center immediately. He has the opportunity now to do something that's never been done. And yet, like you're saying, that means more than going to a Lakers team and just being, the next to do it, and after their long history of championships.
When did the Lakers leave here?
60? 58?
It was in the late 50s or early 60s, I know that. Because then, it had to be, probably 59, 60, something like that, because the Vikings and the Twins both came here in, 61?
Yeah.
March of 1960.
March of 1960. So then the next year we got 2 teams. Well, I don't understand. Was that Bob Short? Didn't Bob Short own the Lakers at the time?
I don't know. I mean, I know that Sid was part of the group in the 50s. I don't know who the other guys were.
Let me just tell you something. It's unbelievable. We sold the team for $50. Imagine how much they got. They probably got nothing for that team. And they had won world championships. They probably got nothing for it.
The other thing, too, I think it would be funny if we went back to the trend that Sid set, which is you go from being an NBA owner to being a journalist, like a
Yeah.
sports writer. Could you imagine if like Mark Cuban sold, which he did, sell his share of the Mavericks, and he became like the lead sports writer in Dallas or something?
Did he sell out completely?
No, I think he sold the majority stake, and he still maintains a minority share of some kind because he still sits like courtside in the same
does
spot
he?
that he's at. Yeah,
I told you that he sold his yacht, didn't I?
yeah.
Times are tough.
Yeah, sold his yacht to the guy who used to run Sears. And are there any Sears open anymore? Are they all closed now?
We brought that up last week. We should Google that here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't
Yeah,
have any idea.
I think they sold them all, but the Sears like corporation, they do a bunch of like money maneuvering and things like that. So they're still
That's this
making
guy.
money. Yeah.
Yep, that's this guy. And the big money move he made was he gave Mark Cuban $300 million for a boat.
Jeez,
$300 million for a yacht.
it's
It
aggressive.
is about the size of, let's say, if you take about 4 houses in a row in Bloomington, those one-story deals, what do they call bungalows? The bungalows.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, wouldn't it be 4? It'd be about 10. Honest to God, just massive. The boats, there you could put a city in the damn things.
It appears, by the way, that there are no more Sears in the state of Minnesota, based on their store finder tool on their website.
That's what I understand.
There are 13 open in the United States, though. Seven in California, California has 4 stores, the most of any state, and then there's 13 total.
It's like Blockbuster. There's the one Blockbuster left in
Not
Bend,
anymore.
Oregon.
Not anymore. It closed.
The one in Bend closed?
Yep. You got to look it up. I'm almost certain they closed about half a year ago.
Oh, legendary,
there was
man.
one left. Did you ever go to Blockbuster?
Oh, all the time.
All the time, man. It was great.
There's a great Netflix documentary about, there was, at one point, Blockbuster, I think, had a chance to acquire Netflix in the late 90s or early 2000s.
That's correct.
And they just said, yeah, we don't really respect. We're Blockbuster. What do we need to have this conversation for?
Right.
And, life comes at you fast.
Yeah, because I don't have to come and pick it up. That's why you needed it. That's the big difference right
and
there.
well, Netflix started off, they were like a mail-in DVD service the first few years. In fact, I still have a Coach Carter DVD from Netflix from like 2008. They just pivoted their business and they're like, just keep it, whatever.
Yeah.
Now I have to ask you guys a question because this just came up again last night. When we watch things on Netflix, the streaming channel, it glitches a lot. You guys notice that when you watch Netflix, it glitches a ton?
Sounds like you might need some higher speed internet there.
No, all the other channels are fine. It's only Netflix that does that. I don't know what would cause that.
Does your app need to be updated, possibly?
Oh, just the Netflix app itself?
Yeah,
Maybe I'll run that by Catherine, maybe. Yeah, it's weird because we watched a couple of things on Netflix last night that were really, really good. And it's not like it's annoying, but the glitch is like, why is that glitching? That's weird.
We had a 2.5-hour live roast of Tom Brady on Netflix last night, too.
I saw that. I didn't watch it.
It was wild, man. And because the awkwardness of this Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, Robert Kraft fallout, and Kevin Hart had all of them doing shots together on the stage at one point. It was pretty amazing.
God, I haven't seen Robert Kraft because I used to run into him all the time, but I haven't seen him since that whole hooker deal.
So on that note, I think it was...
So on that note...
Who was it? Jeffrey Ross. Jeffrey Ross was... he's
him.
like the king roaster, right?
Yep.
So he's up there doing his thing, and he's moving down the line of everybody, and he gets to Robert Kraft, and he starts making jokes about the massage place with the...
Right.
He would get like the happy ending massages in a strip mall or whatever. Tom Brady gets up out of his seat, goes over, kind of like half smiling but nervous, goes and this wasn't meant to be picked up on the microphone, but he goes up to Jeffrey Ross's ear and he says, and the hot mic picked it up. He said, "Don't effing say anything. Like, don't say that again, or don't talk about the.
Don't say that crap again."
Yeah, don't say that crap. But he used a couple other words. So he got. It's a roast though, Tom. Like everyone's gonna get filleted, dude. You got to calm down.
Well, he did pick up hookers. I mean, everybody knows it. You're not revealing something nobody knows about.
Yeah.
You should see Robert Kraft when he's at the Breakers Hotel. He is surrounded by about 10 to 20 really pretty young women.
Are they
Always.
hookers?
I don't know. I've never talked to them. Hey, are you whores? I'll ask him next time I see him. I'll just shout it out because I'm sure the hotel would really appreciate if I did that.
Well, you can just if you just yell "Hey whore" if one of them looks, then you'll know, right?
Yeah. Well, worst case scenario, it makes a great story for how you got your membership revoked at the Breakers Hotel.
Yeah, exactly. Yelling out "whore" in the fish shack or whatever it's called. All right. Oh God, we kept you long today, man. You're filling up the gap here.
It was worth it, though. It was a great conversation about our favorite Nick at Night shows, and we solved the world's internet problems.
Yeah, we did. You're absolutely right. We got them all understand. And I was allowed, or able, I should say, to give a 90 to 120 day notice that we ain't going to be there much longer because I'm tired of this.
Yeah, is that contractually binding? Is that enough right there for the landlord?
I think the thing expires September 1st anyway, so it was good timing.
Okay.
It'll all work out in the end. That's all. Phil, could you just come in and just do the entire show? That'd be good.
Yeah. Tomorrow, I'll be in. I'll be in tomorrow, provided that the internet works. Yes.
So Judd's out of the mix?
Well, no, we're going to keep Judd in the mix. For sure.
We're going to keep him in the mix.
The
Okay,
guy's
so
hilarious. Yep.
We can squeeze that. Damn, don't tell him I said this, but he's a damn nice man, too.
He really is. Yeah. I mean, it's funny because, like, in this setting, he's great. He's personable. Tom's just rocking over there. But if you run into Judd in like a grocery store, he will avoid you at all costs.
What?
Yeah. He's out in the wild. Judd is very much shy, introverted.
Is he? Well, he kind of seems that way anyway.
Yeah.
He seems a little shy and introverted, but no, he's just a very, very nice man.
Yeah. Don't tell him that tomorrow, though.
I will not. Hey, asshole, what's going on in the sports? That's all started tomorrow. What do you think? That'll work.
I like it.
Thanks, Philly dog. You're the new Philly dog. Since Philip moved, you're the new Philly dog.
Yes, let's rock.
I like
dog.
it. Talk to you
Philly
later.
dog Mackey. See you Friday.
Philly dog Mackey. I like that, actually. We'll take a break. Be right back. We're going to schmooze about some. You want to do more of those actual things that have been said in court?
Yeah. We got a couple listener emails that got written in and said they were some guy said he was like shooting coffee out of his nose. So it might be painful. Might be a painful segment, but we're going to enjoy it.
Okay, we'll do a bunch more coming up right after this break. Ladies and gentlemen, hi, it's Tom Barnard for Livea Weight Control Centers. Now is the time to get a jump on some of the Livea way. Join Livea today and get your first 8 weeks free. Now, yes, I did say the first 8 weeks free. In those first 8 weeks, by following Livea's nutrition plan with the help of their expert team of registered dietitians, nutritionists, you can lose up to 20 pounds or more. As a matter of fact, by coincidence, I weighed in this morning, weighed, 244.6, I think it was. So I have lost, in 4 weeks, so we'll just call it a month, I have lost 20 pounds, 20.6 pounds, I think it is. Imagine how much better you'll feel, not to mention how much better your summer clothes will fit. Join today. You'll also receive a complimentary in-body scan. I said in-body. So, yeah, it's really working for me. I have no problem with this. Matter of fact, sometimes I feel like I'm eating too much. And Catherine said, are you sure you don't want more to eat? It's like, it sometimes feels like I'm eating too much. That's how well this works. It's great. As a brand ambassador for Livea, I really appreciate the one-on-one support, too. That's the biggest part for me. I get support from them constantly, and you will, too. You receive it at your Livea Center. So here's the deal. And I've said this in a post this morning on Facebook. I couldn't have reached the goal without their help because that's a fact. No question. Join today. Get your first 8 weeks of Livea's nutrition plan free. Visit Livea.com. That's Livea.com or call 855-GO-LIVEA. And Livea's medical weight loss is now offering GLP-1 medications. They start at just $2.99 per month. Quiet the food noise and see accelerated results by summer. That's perfect time for it. Visit Livea.com or call 855-GO-LIVEA. Get a jump on summer the Livea way.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain and chip issues, all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, well, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? Inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
Mike Lindell and MyPillow employees want to thank my listeners for all of your continued support. To thank you, they're having an overstock clearance and new product sale right now for the best prices ever when you use promo code TOM. And you get free shipping on your entire order. Get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived and will not last long. 6-pack towel sets for only $29.98. Take advantage of the free shipping on larger items such as mattresses and mattress toppers, 100% made in the USA. On sale for as low as $99.99. Everything's on sale, as a matter of fact. They got the brand new kitchen towels. They have the same technology as the bath towels. Because why? Because they actually absorb. That's why. They have dog beds, too. Judy loves them. Dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to MyPillow.com or call 800-516-5146. Use promo code TOM, and you get free shipping on your entire order. So, call 800-516-5146 or go to MyPillow.com and use promo code TOM.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast.
It is indeed, ladies and gentlemen. See, I bring my phone in here so I can read these great things, and what does it do? It rings. What a shock. I'm trying to serve the public, and what happens?
It's so funny because I went out to dinner with my girlfriend on Friday night. We went to this place called Lucky 13's over in Roseville.
Oh, sure. I know where that is. Yep.
And we're sitting there, and I'm eating this porchetta sandwich I ordered. Really good, actually. But all of a sudden, I hear this like it's a loud enough murmur in this crowd, like talking. It's a Friday night. The crowd's excited for a nice dinner. And I'm like, why does something sound so familiar? What is happening? That song, that is your ringtone. It triggered me. It hit something in my neural system that was like, Tom's getting a call, because it was playing. I've never heard this song played anywhere in my life other than your phone. And then I'm out at eating on Friday, and I hear what's that? What's it called again? Don't call me, we'll call you, or something like that.
Don't call us, we'll call you.
Yeah, all I heard was
Yep.
dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, don't call us. And I love, there's one line that goes, don't call us, we'll call you. I said, you got my number? He said, yeah, I got it when you walked in the door. Which I think was, yeah, I got your number, pal. I got it right here.
Oh, yeah.
I love that song. It's a great song. Plus the fact, when your ringtone is, I just said, don't call me, I'll call you. What the hell are you doing calling me? Right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's not true. I don't say that to people ever. All right. Dougie Dawson in Toronto, Canada sent these to me this morning. These are actual quotes from actual court rooms throughout North America.
Okay.
This includes Canada and the United States. Attorney, the youngest son, the 20-year-old. How old is he? He's 20, very close to your IQ.
Sassy.
You like that one, AJ?
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one. Attorney, were you present when your picture was taken? The witness on the stand said, are you shitting me? No, that's not against the law to swear on the stand, is it?
I don't think so.
No,
as long as you don't get too out of hand, the judge might
Yep.
hey, ordered and bang his little gavel, but I think you're allowed to swear.
I think there's supposed to be some like decorum, but like you can't just call somebody like use your imagination here. But yeah, I think when you're met with that question, I think you can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad. So this guy just goes, are you shitting me?
Yeah.
In court. I love that.
Love it.
You guys, I've only been in court once in my entire life, so I don't know much about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was when I was a teenager. Shock of the century. Attorney, so the date of conception of the baby was August 8th? Witness, yes. Attorney, and what were you doing at the time? Witness, getting laid. I love these. These are some of my favorite things of all time. Attorney, she had 3 children, right? Witness, yes. Attorney, how many were boys? Witness, none. Attorney, were there any girls? Your Honor, I need a different attorney. Can I get a new attorney? Well, there were no boys, but were there any girls? Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this is when the attorney is trying to like outsmart himself.
Yes.
And, like, I'm going to ask all these wonderful questions,
Yeah.
and then they just come out completely wrong.
Yeah.
All right. It kind of put me in the mood doing that stupid stuff because Bob, I mean, not that Bob's stupid. That's not what I mean. Sandy.
No.
We'll
And
take
real quick, Tom. So the guy that wrote those books,
Yeah.
his name is Charles Sevilla, and it looks like he's still a practicing attorney in California, in San Diego. But he got his phone number listed here, so I might have to give him a call and see if we can get him on one of these days.
Oh, I would love that if we got him on. I mean, this book is brilliant. These are real quotes from courtrooms across North America. I mean, most of them are in the United States, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I'd love to have him. What's his name?
Charles Sevilla, I believe is how you pronounce
Charles Sevilla.
Sevilla. Sevilla or Sevilla, depending
Seville.
Seville.
Probably
Sevilla.
the Barber of Seville. Remember that? The
If he-
Barber of Seville.
If he's Spanish, I bet you it's Sevilla.
Yeah.
Sevilla.
White guy, it looks like.
No, then maybe not. I don't know.
Seville. Just follow Uncle Tom.
We'll go
It's
Seville.
Seville. It's Seville.
Don't call us, we'll call you. That's all I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. We'll take a break, be right back. What's that guy's name? Is Bob something?
I don't know, but he's got an interesting shirt on. I want to see what this shirt.
Oh, I haven't seen him yet. Okay, well, we'll take a very quick break here, and then Bob will join us right after this. When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, and he should be yours too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market and the economy, and he knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
Is that text you're sending so important that you missed your turn? Is that text you're sending so important that you ran the red light? Is that text you're sending so important you didn't see the ball coming onto the road or the child that followed? Hi, I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw and Bryant. When you take your eyes off the road for even 4 seconds, your vehicle travels 100 yards. That's the entire length of a football field. If you absolutely have to text, you need to pull off the road somewhere safe and do it from there. Texting and driving is against the law and can cause serious injury or even death to you and others. Now that is important. We hope you're never injured in a collision, but if you are, please contact us.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Going farther with Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
In addition to having the best selection in town, K&L Surplus and Ammo also can help you sell your firearms safely and worry-free. Very, very important. You've inherited a collection of firearms from a loved one, don't know what to do with them, or if you have guns you're no longer using, call Jim at K&L Surplus and Ammo. Jim can help you sell those firearms safely and through consignment and auction. I know Jim. He's an extremely knowledgeable guy, great guy too. Will help you get top dollar, which is very important, of course. He will help you explore all the options and take the work and stress off of your shoulders. K&L Surplus and Ammo is on Lake Drive in Lina Lakes and open Tuesday through Saturday. You can also visit them online at www.klgunstore.com.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Sansevere Sports brought to you by Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury lawyers seeking justice for the injured. Contact Bradshaw and Bryant at minnesotapersonalinjury.com, minnesotapersonalinjury.com. Now I have a question for you, Bob, because I was talking to Michael Bryant yesterday, and he may have been at the Twins game.
What a shock.
He was sitting behind the plate, but he was about 20 rows up, so I could never see him. You can see about 7 or 8, maybe even 10 rows up, but they don't go higher than that.
Yeah.
Showing that. But, he's got a pretty tough life. Got Boston, goes to see his Boston Red Sox. Grew up in Rhode Island, so he's a big Red Sox fan. They end up winning. You knew the Twins were not going to win that game yesterday after winning all those games in a row.
After a dozen, they had to take a little bit of a breather, and they had to
Sure.
figure out a way to get rid of that rancid meat.
God, I can't believe they're still throwing that around. It's unbelievable.
They got to be done with it now.
I would hope so, yes. That'd be
And
good.
like I said last week, if you're going to have rally jerky, if you want to have a piece of meat, it'll last the whole season.
That's true. Very good point. Good point, Sandy. Yeah, so the Twins have been doing very, very well. Tevin and AJ and I have been complaining about the fact that where I am, the Timberwolves game starts a little after 10 o'clock.
Oh,
It's like, Jesus.
You have to pry your peepers open.
Yes, get a couple of little toothpicks and just prop the eyes open.
As you know, I've been on the Timberwolves all season.
Oh, absolutely.
I thought they'd lose to the Suns in 4 or 5. But now I've switched completely. I want to harken back to the 82-83 season, when after the season, the Philadelphia 76ers won 67 games, dominated.
Mm-hmm.
They asked Moses Malone what he thought would happen in the playoffs, and he just mumbled, "Foe, foe, foe." They only played 3 series then, and his point was they'd go 4-0, 4-0, 4-0. They wound up going foe, fi, foe, which is, by the way, on their championship ring. They lost 1 game to Milwaukee in the Eastern Conference Championships, beat the Knicks in 4, 5 against the Bucks, and then swept the Lakers for the NBA title, which begs the question, will the Timberwolves go foe, 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 foe?
Will they?
Will
That's
they?
what we'd like to know.
Yeah, Tevin thinks so.
For sure.
For sure.
Good line.
Now, was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on the Milwaukee team when that happened?
I think, he was, but he was old.
I think he was, yeah.
I think that James Worthy didn't play in that series.
Oh,
but
okay.
it was still a heck of a, Jabbar was Jabbar.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
There's also footage out there of Jabbar. They would the best in the league would never do this now. Jabbar playing Julius Erving, Dr. J, one-on-one.
Oh,
He
yeah.
destroyed him.
Yep.
I mean, Dr. J didn't have a chance against Jabbar because that little skyhook was a killer.
Were you in studio the day Dr. J came in studio at KQ?
I think I might have been. I'm not a big Dr. J fan, though. I loved watching him because I grew up in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
But I tried to interview him at an NBA All-Star game that was when it was here. He just blew me off. He had no interest in talking.
Right, because when he was on the morning show, he could not have been nicer. So maybe you weren't there because he was so nice.
Well, it probably was the same. Well, that could be.
Well.
Maybe you're right. So
No, I will never forget being able to sit down and shake hands with Dr. J. Man, that was a thrill for me. I loved watching Dr. J.
Well, I used to watch him on. You would know because you lived in New York. WPIX.
Yeah.
It was at Channel 11 there. They had the ABA games.
Yeah.
When he played for the then New York Nets, when they were in Long Island with that ABA ball was something. You remember that?
Yes, sir.
Red, white, and blue. But it was, I loved watching him in the ABA and again when he came to the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of fun.
No question about it. Do you think? Tevin thinks you're not going to lose a game. That's what he thinks.
He's going fo sure?
Oh, sure. Like, I don't know that they'll win every game, but I will pick them to win every game because they are unstoppable.
To me, the key to this series and any going forward, yes, of course, we know Anthony Edwards, 43 points, phenomenal. They're already talking. We don't want to mention Michael Jordan, but let's mention Michael Jordan, all these writers. But to me, the key to the series is Karl Anthony Towns. If he doesn't screw up and doesn't get in foul trouble, they will be fine. But he has a tendency. Again, he, as Barkley and Shaq said last year, talking about Gobert and Cat, 14 feet of dumb. Now, Gobert has not been, but you could still say 7 feet of dumb. And after the series with the Suns, Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns sitting next to each other in the post game, and he basically said, "You got to stay out of foul trouble. We have to have you on the floor."
Yep.
And it's true. I mean, this is a team now with it's not a good matchup for Jokic because they could throw 2 7-footers at you. And how tall is Reed? 6'9", 6'10"?
Yeah, Nasri, he's somewhere around there. And then, I mean, even our wing defenders are long and lanky. So, yeah, we've got a lot of height to throw at Jokic and the rest of those guys. So he's in for a long series.
And again, but I mean, this should be the championship series for the Western Conference. But I don't want to dismiss Oklahoma City because that is a good team. Yet this is what's stunning about the Wolves. They have done what you talk about a team has to do in the postseason. You have to turn it up another notch, find a playoff gear. They have found it.
God, it's exciting, man. I will tell you that. Twins winning all those games. Timberwolves winning everything they touch. It's a nice little 2-week time right here.
And what it probably means is before the NBA playoffs are over and the baseball season, the world will end.
You think there's a pause? Well, maybe.
It's one of those signs of the apocalypse.
You might be right. No question about it.
It's just it's too good.
Is that before or after the Locusts?
I think the Locusts will. Yeah, they'll go across the court tonight in Denver.
Okay, right before somebody glues themselves to the court.
Yeah.
Where is it that locust infestation is going on in the world? Is it in Africa? There's a huge locust infection going on, right? They were showing like people walking down the street, and there were like 50 of them on their back. Oh my God.
Well, not just the locust. Some guy down in Texas died of bird flu.
That's right.
I think he must hope he wasn't one of those people who sucks the snot out of the bird's nose.
Oh, Jesus.
Their little beak.
Boy,
I mean, that there have been people who've gotten sick from doing that. But I don't get it.
Did I tell you I have to leave at 8:54? What do you want me to vomit? Sucking boogers out of birds' noses.
Out of beaks.
No,
talk
I'll
to me.
pass. In the cicadas, Tom, are in Chicago. That's where
they were, Chicago?
Illinois, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I was kidding about the apocalypse, but maybe not.
I mean, little kids walking down the street, and there were like 50 of them on the back of their shirt. Like, Jesus.
Has the Mississippi turned to blood yet?
Any day now. Any day. So we got some good baseball. They got smoked yesterday, but you knew they were going to get smoked one of these games. When they lose, when you got a run going like that, when you lose, you really lose. Have you ever noticed that?
Yes, but they really have put themselves back into contention.
Yes, sir.
2 weeks ago, who would have thought that they would even get out? I mean, it was going to be last place the White Sox, second to last the Twins.
Yeah.
And then they did get on. But they also caught teams,
Yes.
getting the White Sox, getting Anaheim. And the Red Sox are a good team. They did win against them until yesterday. So we'll see how it all plays out. But suddenly, I mean, it's the Timberwolves. I know Tevin loves the team. I could care less all season about them, but I am intrigued by what they're doing.
My daughter, Alex and Tevin can schmooze about it because they're both huge Timberwolf fans.
Yeah, well, it's a wonderful time to be a Timberwolf. It's been a long time since they've been even remotely relevant, and now to be kind of on top of the basketball world feels nice.
Well, are you have you invoked your producership and called the Timberwolves to get a press pass as a representative of the Tom Barnard show?
I don't know that they'd answer the phone if I called, but if anybody from there's the player of like development, some guy that lives in my building, so me and him schmooze all the time about the Timberwolves, so I might have to lean on that friendship a little bit.
Just know you're a legitimate guy. You got to talk. You give a call to their PR department and tell them who you are.
Perfect.
Don't you know who I am?
Right.
Look at him. He doesn't have a clue what to do.
Bob Sansevere told me to call you, and I demand that I get on courtside in the locker room. So, I'll have to give them a call.
I like it. I think that'll work beautifully.
Worth a shot.
Yeah, why not?
Worst thing to say is no, get out of here.
Right?
That will, by the way, I'm sure when they come back here, the national media, it is going to be stuffed.
Oh, God, yeah.
No
doubt about it.
It's a hot ticket.
That's great news, though. Now, and honest to God, like I said, I grew up in North Minneapolis, so I don't think we had one hockey rink in the entire north side. But I got to live long enough to see the Wild win a championship because it never happened with the North Stars. They got close. They were in the finals a couple times, weren't they? The North Stars, I think.
Yeah. 91, they lost in the final to the Penguins.
Oh, so they just won? They were only in one?
No,
Final?
They had
did-
one earlier than that too.
They
That's
had
what I
one in
thought.
the 80s as well.
But
That's what I thought. Yeah.
The 91 one is when they already started talking about like having the parade, and that's what really pissed off the Penguins, and they turned it on after that. and
Yeah,
mocked
they
them
did.
afterward.
But the song just doesn't work with "It's the state of basketball,
Yeah.
the state of hockey." For Christ's sake, where's a win? Let's go.
Well, and also for young folk like Tevin and AJ, you are watching if when Royce Lewis maybe gets healthy, but you got Justin Jefferson, you got Anthony Edwards. I mean,
Yep.
you've got several good young players with the Wild. I mean, you're seeing some of the greatest talent to ever play on these teams,
I agree.
and that's a big deal. I mean, don't take it for granted. So that's why, Tevin, you need to call the Vikings, you need to call the Twins, you need to call the Wolves, and you need to call the Wild. And I don't know about the Lynx. They could have had Angel Reese. They didn't. But
Yeah.
give them a call. Get on the list.
Yep. I'm gonna.
Become a press box guy.
There we go. That's my goal for 2024. Get into as many press boxes as possible.
You can tell him Sansevere doesn't go anymore, so I want his spot.
Yeah.
'Cause I have the Minneapolis moratorium going on. I won't set foot in that city until they clean it up.
Oh boy, look at the time. Sandy, we will talk to you at the end of the week.
Oh yes. All right.
Thank
see
you,
guys.
Bob.
Bye-bye.
Bob Sansevere Sports brought to you by Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury lawyers seeking justice for the injured. Contact Bradshaw and Bryant at minnesotapersonalinjury.com. That is minnesotapersonalinjury.com. We'll be right back. Shaunie Henderson, ladies and gentlemen, her book debut, Undefeated, Changing the Rules and Winning on My Own Terms. This is going to be interesting. She will be with us in just a couple minutes, right from now. Mike Lindell and MyPillow employees want to thank my listeners for all your continued support. To thank you, they're having an overstock clearance and new product sale right now for the best prices ever. When you use promo code TOM, you get free shipping on your entire order. You get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived and won't last long. 6-pack towel sets for only $29.98. And take advantage of the free shipping on larger items such as mattresses and mattress toppers. 100% made in the USA, on sale for as low as $99.99. Everything is on sale, from the brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the bath towels that actually absorb dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to mypillow.com or call 800-516-5146. Use promo code TOM, and you can get free shipping on your entire order. So call 800-516-5146. Go to mypillow.com and use promo code TOM.
Hi, guys. It's Chris Eggert from Channel 5 Morning News, along with my friends Megan Newquist and Ken Barlow. In the morning, we pride ourselves on sharing people's stories. I've been lucky enough to be part of this 5 Eyewitness News morning team for more than a decade now. This is where I've raised my kids and working alongside my friends for all these years. We're like a family, too.
We are family, Chris. Working with you and Ken and Hannah, it is such an honor to help folks start their day every morning on Channel 5. We get to catch people up on the news that's happening, and Hannah is here to keep an eye on the traffic around town.
And when it comes to weather, I know people rely on me to plan their day and get their family out the door. Over the last 10 years, there were so many memories and so many laughs. I just love sharing the forecast alongside you guys.
I feel the same way, Ken. To all you who start your day with us here on Channel 5, we think of you as family, too. Thanks for turning on 5 Eyewitness News in the mornings.
Hello, I'm Brad Huckle, President and Chief Lending Officer at North American Banking Company.
And I'm Michael Bilski, CEO at North American Banking Company.
As a locally owned and operated community bank, we work with many multi-generational businesses.
Take Personal Care Dentistry of Roseville, for example. Dr. Walter Hunt, also known as Painless to me, has been a longtime customer of the bank since we opened the bank in 1998.
When his son Kyle was ready to join the practice, they wanted to expand quickly.
With their additional space and equipment, they now are able to see more patients each day while providing the same level of care and service.
Okay, guys, I'll take it from here. If you run a family business or any kind of business for that matter, you should be banking with Brad and Mike over at North American Banking Company. Every time I deal with them or their team, I know I'm working with experienced professional bankers. So why not bank with my banker? North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
You damn right you are. AJ's on the horn right now. We'll see how it works out. If he can handle being on, you think he can handle being on the phone?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's an adept phone speaker. He usually is able to, answer, put phone to ear, and then say words. But it sounds like he's trying to get Art's trying to get Shaunie off the her previous interview and get her on with us. So it should be just a couple minutes.
So we'll have about 2-3 minutes with her. That'll be great.
Yeah,
That'll be perfect.
AJ, first time on the phone.
You got to do what you got to do. That's all I'm saying. First time on the phone. All right, well, let's move forward with the show. I don't know. Apparently, it's not working, but we'll all get over it eventually.
Mm-hmm.
So what's new in your life, Tevin?
New in my life, not a whole lot. Every day starting to feel the same, but just work. I'm like you, Tom. All I do is work, shoulder to the wheel.
Shoulder to the wheel. So how many different businesses you got going?
Right now I have 3 total jobs, but I'm trying to use all of them to save my money. The end goal is I want to open my own like lounge restaurant.
Where?
Yeah. I've looked at a couple places downtown. So yeah, got one. Do you remember where Hopcat was?
No.
It was like a sports bar type of thing. It didn't last too long. They were in and out.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, they have a nice little like patio set up and things like that. So I want to check that out. Once you put there.
Is it on Hennepin Avenue?
It's on Nicollet, right
on
by
Nicollet.
the rail station, kind of by the library. Yep.
Oh, over there. Well, that's a nice area.
Yeah. So they're all of downtown, the city council for Minneapolis is putting a real big push in trying to kind of revitalize and put more businesses downtown. And so trying to kind of hop on that wave and be a part of that process.
Sounds good. Okay, so you're doing that. What else you got going?
DJing weddings. I just did my first wedding of the season last weekend, which was fun to be part of. I always love being part of people, like the happiest days of people's lives. And so that was fun. I got to go. I was out in Red Wing at this big barn wedding. That was a good time.
Glad. Hey, just tell them to hop off the phone. It's already 5 after. We're running out of time here.
Is it AJ? Can you hear us? Oh, okay. So yeah, he'll sort that out with Art, but see what's going on.
Yeah, maybe we can book her some other time or whatever. But typical, you booked it and got screwed up. What a shock! Way to go, Tevin.
Yeah, well, they're usually good about getting the guests off right away, but yeah, this one the interview must be riveting on whatever.
You know what station she's on right now?
Oh, I have no idea.
I could just call them and tell them, get your head out of your ass.
Right.
Yeah, it's already at 5 after. We can't. What are you gonna do? A 4-minute interview? That would not be good.
Oh yeah, are we able to keep her late?
No, well, I don't want to keep her late. We got to keep
the show moving.
KB on.
We've got Shaunie on the line. Art said we're good for the full allotment here.
Well, we got about 7 or 8 minutes. Does that work?
Yeah.
Shaunie's on the phone right now.
She sure is.
Shaunie Henderson, how you doing?
I'm great, and you?
Not too bad. Well, how popular are you, sister? We had to drag you off the last interview. What's that all about?
I think we were just having a good time on the last one. So we're gonna, bring that energy here.
Okay, we'll ruin it. We'll ruin it for you. Ruin your timing. It'll be unbelievable.
No.
Shaunie Henderson, her debut book, Undefeated, Changing the Rules and Winning on My Own Terms. Shaunie opens up about finding love, shares how she raised strong, smart, grounded black children in today's world, and inspires readers with how she defined her career and personal life by forging her own path. Matter of fact, the book's released tomorrow, is it not?
It is. May 7th is launch day. I'm super excited.
Marvelous. Now, I was just reading through the descriptor here, Shaunie Henderson, our special guest. Again, the book's called Changing the Rules and Winning on My Own Terms. You talk about different things. And the bottom one here that I saw, the last one just before a lovely picture of you, by the way. Let me point that out.
Ooh. Why, thank you.
One problem I do have with the look, though, you're looking at me in the picture, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me like, what are you looking at?
Is that what it's more like I was trying to give boss undefeated vibes.
Okay, well, that works. I understand that works. No question. One of the things you bring up is how she raised 5 resilient black kids in a world that didn't necessarily embrace them. Are we still in a situation, are we ever going to get out of the situation where people judge others by skin color? My God, it's a little late in the game to be doing that, isn't it?
I mean, it really is, but it's so true. You know, I'll never forget. I share in the book a story about my daughter, and she had braids in her hair at school, and how the teacher asked me to take them out because she was distracted by them. And braids, like, could you imagine, like that? And just what you said is what I'm thinking. Like, here we are in 20, I think it was maybe 2014, 15 at the time this happened. Mm-hmm. And I'm it's just mind boggling. You're speechless because you're like, how can some people still have this toxic, disgusting way of thinking?
I think it actually, in their own head, of course, Shaunie, it gives them power. People use that too. So not only do they give themselves power, but then other people use skin color, orientation, all of these things against one another to make themselves look better, which to me, they look like total scumbags, but that's just me. Right?
No, it's not just you.
Okay, well, I just wish people would stop with this. Let people be people. Live your life. You don't have to harm other people just to make your life better. In other words, shut up. The rest of us are having a good time, right?
That part. Shut up. We all need a T-shirt that says that before they even start. Read the shirt.
I love this. The defining moments of her journey as a single working mom. Now, my mother was not she was a working mom. My father was taken away to an institution when I was 7 years old, and he was not around that much before I turned 7 anyway. So I watched my mother, a single working mom, and how she worked and worked and worked. To this day, you know what's funny about that, Shaunie? And your children are probably going to do the same thing. If you need me to do something, do not get a man to ask me to do it because I won't do it. And I don't do it on purpose, Shaunie. You know what I'm saying? I don't do it on purpose, but it's like women have told me what to do my whole life. So get a woman to tell me what to do, right?
Oh, okay. So because you watched your mom work so hard and she was like, running the house, her saying it was fine.
Yep.
A woman telling you what to do is what you're saying. It's totally fine. Oh, that's interesting. But you know what? Now that you know that about yourself, then are you intentional about being, aware, like, hey, I know this about me, so let me change it, or you're totally fine with
Oh, no, I'm totally fine with it. Look, you haven't met my wife, because even if I didn't listen to women, I'd listen to her. I can guarantee you that. No, I love my life like that. It's that's one of the reasons I'm excited you did have some extra time, because I want to hear about you're a strong, smart woman who you do it your way and it works. I think that's great news.
Yeah, I mean, I think that in my book, I'm sharing my personal journey with a lot of common relatable issues that I'm hoping will inspire and empower and educate other people that they can do the same. Like, it's never too late to take like broken pieces of your life and put them back together. It honestly is a decision to take a challenge and make it an opportunity to be undefeated, right? But it's all about, you realize sometimes life is just throwing things at you that you're not even aware that later on is purely a learning lesson. But it takes you realizing at some point, like, I can take this horrible space that I'm in right now, go into survival mode, come up out of here, and I promise you, somewhere down the line, it is going to be such a huge learning lesson for the next obstacle. Like, I will never do that again, or the path that I took the last time wasn't so great. Let me try it another way. It's just so many, I share this as well in my book, that I left my marriage with my peace. And I was totally fine with that, even though the circumstance was awful. But because of what I had to just stir up inside of myself in that circumstance, changed my entire life. Mm-hmm. Like, I would not be where I am on the phone with you right now with a book coming out tomorrow had I not gone through what I went through. And change the trajectory of my life. It was just, it's what it is. It's taking those challenges and making them into an opportunity.
You know, Shaunie, it's so great that you bring that up because I went through a lot of the same situation. I said, growing up, 7 children with my mother running the show. My father wasn't around. He was in an institution. Let me put it that way. You've heard of those, haven't you, Shaunie?
I've heard of those. Yes, I have.
We're talking to Shaunie Henderson about her book, Undefeated, Changing the Rules and Winning on My Own Terms. Now, I'm telling you, I just love the fact that you look back and said, I've had some tough times, but I'm not going to let them drag me down. This is not going to happen. I am me. Yeah, it's been some bumps in the road, been some problems, but I will do whatever it takes. And again, I'm not talking about doing filthy things. I'm talking about doing the right thing to make sure your life works, which sounds to me what Undefeated is all about, is doing the right thing for yourself and the people around you.
Absolutely. Doing what's best and making better decisions. I was just sharing with someone, like, this place that I'm in life right now, I am so cognizant and intentional about the decisions that I'm making. Are they always going to be perfect? No, I'm human. But I am trying and keep it in the forefront of my head to try to make the best decisions I possibly can, not only for me, but for my family. I'm trying to understand and be aware of showing people more grace in life and just being kinder and gentler and more understanding. But they're all decisions that you just have to make for yourself. And you know, I'm honestly right now probably the happiest that I've ever been in life. And it's all just based on what you put out and how you deal with certain things. I tell my daughter, you know, she just turned 18 last week, and, you know, that's the teenage years, and they have those little attitudes sometimes, just something doesn't go their way. But I consistently tell her, that's a decision. You can decide to feel a different way about that.
I love how you...
Once you realize that you can decide to make you can feel a different way about something. And yes, we can all be, you know, you're going to be sad, you're going to be mad. Those are all natural feelings. But at some point, you have to realize, okay, I can continue to wake up every day pissed about this or sad about it, but I'm going to make a decision today to feel a different way.
You know what I love what you said earlier was, it's the best time of your life being on this show. I think that's what you said, isn't it?
I did. Did you? Did I go too fast when I said that? I'm so sorry.
Shaunie, you got to come back. If you ever get to town on a book tour or anything like that, you got to come in studio. It'd be great to meet you.
Oh, I would love that. Thank you so much for having me. And I hope everybody goes out today and gets their copy of Undefeated.
They need to. Shaunie, we'll talk soon. Thank you. Ooh, she was gone. When she had to go, she had to go. What a nice person. I do love that picture of her. That looks like my mother, my sisters, and my wife looking back at me like, what the hell are you looking at? She was I am really thank you guys for making that extra effort to get her on, because she was a terrific guest. You guys probably noticed this, but my favorite thing in life is to talk to people I don't know on this show. I was very, very impressed with her. You know,
yeah, she seemed very nice, and yeah, that picture that you're talking about, it's got that low angle too, so it's got that kind of like a powerful feel to it. Yeah, very good cover for her book.
Yeah, and I know we were running a bit behind, but it was nice to get her on, and I mean, it worked out well. Great conversation.
I'll tell you, honest to God, she's married to a pastor, so we can't even say anything about how beautiful she is, because he'd call God down upon us and we'd be in big trouble.
Strike us down.
We can say she's radiant.
Yeah.
Radiant. You could say she's radiant. What a sweetheart of a person. I love big, strong, tough. Well, by big, I just mean, projected
personality.
Strong, big, strong personality, real tough women. I've always loved women like that, because the really big, tough women are always sweethearts inside. Always.
Yep.
Which I just love. I love that so much. It's kind of like how I love Kristen Burt, who's up next. When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, and he should be yours too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market and the economy, and he knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain and chip issues, all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, well, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? You know, inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste. The new Tom Barnard Show is proud to have partners like Bradshaw and Bryant, MyPillow, and North American Banking Company founder, chairman, and president, Mike Bilski.
I've advertised on Tom's show for years, and the reason is simple. My business is recognized because of the ads, and that recognition has created growth. What business doesn't want to grow? I highly recommend the Tom Barnard Morning Show for your advertising.
Grow results for your business by partnering with the Tom Barnard Show. Visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner. This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at TomBarnardShow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. We're on a roll here on a Monday. You know, we got the very tall, tough Catherine Brandt. Then, of course, we have Shaunie Henderson on, tough woman, but just a sweetheart. And then the trifecta, Kristen Burt.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you. God, I just had a wonderful time talking to her. I've never met her before, never talked to her before, but I love that when women are like, okay, I got it. I love that about women.
When we're in charge.
Yep. Well, it's how I grew up. People don't understand. It's how I grew up with women. 3 women, my mother, my sister Bobby, and my sister Vicky were in charge. That's just a fact. You know. I don't think it hurt, by the way, the fact that I love being told what to do by women, since both my grandfathers were raging assholes and my father was nuts. So, you know. I had to count on women. I always had to count on the women, the 2 grandmothers and my mother, because the men were so nuts.
The people who kept you safe.
There's no question about that. Yeah. No doubt about it. So, yeah, I feel really good about that interview. I just like talking to strong, tough women. Love it.
I love it. I'm a rough, tough cream puff is like what I got to say.
You and Toots, my mother. No one could say Theophila, which means the love of God. They couldn't say Theophila, so she became Toots.
Toots. Toots is a great nickname.
Toots is she was a great Toots, too. Now, here's my impression of Toots, my mother, answering the phone. You ready? Now, I got to have a Pall Mall in my fingers, so I got to take a big, long puff. So then a stream of smoke comes out when I answer the phone and go, hello. I don't know why she always did that. She always went, hello.
10 minutes later.
Like 10 minutes later. It's like, Mom, what are you doing? You can just go, hello. That'd be good. But no, she liked to roll into it with the smoke coming out, billowing out of her mouth.
I love it. It's a vibe.
Wonderful.
Honestly,
It is a
it's
vibe.
a vibe of an era gone by, to be honest.
Catherine and I watched a show last night, and I can't remember. Was it just called Self or something like that? God, it was about 2 women in the Middle East, and Oh, what the hell's the name of that show? That bothers me. I'll have to look it up while we're schmoozing. It
Okay.
was really good. Really, really good.
Yeah, this was a weekend. If it was a rainy weekend wherever everyone was, this
Mhm.
was the weekend to go and just binge watch a bunch of TV and movies because there was so much going on. Did anybody go to the movie theater to see The Fall Guy? Just
I did
nobody?
not.
No, but it's on my list. I'll probably go at some point this week.
Yeah.
It didn't do great at the box office, which
No.
it wasn't tracking well to begin with, so it's not like a wild surprise. But I am surprised given that Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling kind of at the top of their game right now in terms of career and everything else. The movie was well reviewed. The word of mouth is good on it, but people just aren't going to the movie theater to go see this film. And it's going to take about $300 million globally for this movie to break even. Here in the US, it made $28.5 million.
Eek.
I know, it's brutal.
Yeah, that's not good. I just, yeah, that's too bad. One thing I will tell you that doesn't help, no question about it. For instance, we had a local theater, which is about 3 blocks from here. It was patterned after the Taj Mahal. It was one of the most beautiful buildings I have ever seen in my life. Had 12 theaters in it. Just a gorgeous building. Well, they tore it down to build a 35-story building. They tore it completely down. I really miss that theater a lot.
Yeah, we have here in Los Angeles, we have like the Cinerama Dome, which was one of the biggest movie theaters in the Los Angeles
Yeah.
area, and attached to it was the ArcLight. That's been closed since the pandemic, and it supposedly was bought out by someone, but nothing has been done to it, and it has a huge round, like looks like, Epcot, like Mother Earth, Spaceship Earth,
Yeah, yep.
IMAX theater in it, completely just sitting there. And honestly, it was such a hub and such a vibe in Los Angeles. That's where like big screenings would happen there. Everyone would meet for movies, no matter where you lived in Los Angeles. You go, let's go to the movies. We'll all meet at the ArcLight. It
Yeah.
really was a community. If you wanted to do like, okay, our activity this weekend is going to the movies. And there were restaurants around there too. So I'm sure that the restaurants are suffering as well. Just nothing has replaced it. And I really hope someone gets in there as fast as possible because so many of us miss it.
That's exactly it, too, because I want to go to the movie theater. I really do want to go, but it's getting harder and harder to find ones that are open.
Yeah, Regal took over our other ArcLight. We had another ArcLight on the other side of the hill, and it's not the same experience. ArcLight was really known for their customer service, and
Oh, sure.
Regal is just like, it's just like, an AMC. You know exactly what you're going to get, but when you wanted more of an atmosphere, you went to the ArcLight and you were okay spending a couple more dollars for the movie ticket because you're paying for the overall experience. It's one of those where they would come in and they check the picture and the sound quality, and it really was for people who were cinephiles. So it's one of those situations where I don't know. I know a lot of places are doing, the luxury theater experience, but I don't think that they're
Yeah.
popping up as fast as other theaters and things like that. And because the regular theaters are closing down, the luxury cinema experiences aren't popping up as fast. So you're just kind of like, I'll wait for it to come out on streaming. And I think that is happening a lot for people.
Yeah. And maybe it's my age and all the rest of it. I'm assuming that's probably part of it. But to walk into a movie theater, buy that ticket, go buy the popcorn, get your Coca-Cola or whatever you're having, the whole thing was an experience. It was just all of that together with the movie was just fantastic.
The smell as you walk into the theater of buttered popcorn. That's what gets me.
Oh, I know. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You smelled that popcorn. It was like, hey, I'm at the movie theater. This is wonderful. I hope. Is it ever going to come back, though, do you think? Do you think there's any chance it'll ever come back?
I don't think it's going to come back to the way it was. I honestly think because of the nature of streaming and technology, and they're encouraging us more to be on our screens at home than going out, it's really going to take Hollywood to start really embracing marketing campaigns that get people
Yeah.
to the theater. They did it last summer with Barbenheimer. But we don't really have that same experience happening this summer. And I know that theater owners are a little concerned because they're like, we need another Barbenheimer, because that's the only thing that really kept the box office churning last year. And, there'll be bright spots. We know that Deadpool and Wolverine will do very well this summer and people will go and see that. But when you have Tom Cruise in a Mission Impossible not doing box office dollars the way it did 5 years ago, which was always a guaranteed hit, they're sweating a little bit. The budgets are too big too, I think. Smaller movies are probably going to be the wave of the future, which is fine. I'd rather go and see like a nice, quiet rom-com or like really funny comedy or indie film. I don't need to be barraged with like 35-minute action sequences in every single film.
I would have to agree with that, no question. I hope people do understand. Like Catherine and I have a deal where, she has a busy day, I got a busy day, and blah, blah, blah. We get together. Sometimes we have dinner together, sometimes we don't. But we always finish our day, the last hour and a half, 2 hours, sometimes 2.5 hours, whatever, watching something together on television and relaxing, kind of like settling in and easing into nighttime. That's very, very special to me. I love that. But sitting there. The only problem we have is we have one of those V couches. They're in the shape of a V. Mm-hmm. One goes on. The only problem we have is Catherine likes to lie down to watch movies, and I like to sit up. And then Jude decides which side he's going to be on. You don't decide where he's going to go. He does. So sometimes he's right next to me. Sometimes he's right next to her. Other times he'll just sit there and stare at us both and not get up on the couch. He'll just go, "What?" Like we're doing something wrong.
That is pet ownership in a nutshell. I mean, my cats decide where I'm going to sleep and at what angle.
Oh, yeah. When Catherine was out of town, I will never forget this. Catherine's out of town for about 4 days, so I had to sleep with Jude in the bed because if I put him in the crate, he would not shut up. So he had to be in bed with me. And on the 4th day in a row of sleeping with him, I woke up with his face right in my face.
Nothing like dog breath, hot, steamy dog breath in the morning.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Honest to God. But yeah, I hope we do get back to that. Hey, in the day, you're out of high school, you're working, you're at college now, let's see, you're in your mid-20s now. Hey, let's go to dinner and a movie. It was wonderful. Wonderful experience.
And that's not really a high priority for Alpha Gen and Gen Z. So because they've grown up with having streaming services in their home. So, and they've got technology, they've got, iPads, iPhones, all of that. I mean, they don't even want to watch things on a laptop. So
no,
it's amazing just to see where their interest is versus like other generations. Millennials, Gen X, boomers have all grown up with more of the movie-going experience.
So it's probably never going to come back on a big scale, but maybe on tiny little scales, do you think?
I think so. I really do. And I think that if Hollywood can, it's so hard because they plan these movies so far in advance. Mm-hmm. This is coming in 2029. I wish that they would really start to look and start tailoring to what the audiences want. And Barbenheimer, I keep using that as an example, but the opportunity to be able to like go and do a double feature. And for some people who are like really avid moviegoers, this was a fun experience. Or for women, all dressing up in pink and going and having like a girls' night at the theater is amazing. So you need to find those properties that will sort of encourage that and foster community, because I think that's what everyone's looking for. And if you make the movie-going experience a part of that, I think that they will find greater success. It's not going to be week after week of box office hits, which is what Hollywood would like. But if they start finally listening to the audiences of what they want, I think that they will see it's much different. It's changed over the years, and they haven't been listening.
And one thing, you just gave me a great memory. I know you got to get going here in a second, but you just gave me a great memory because we had the Empress, the Paradise, the Broadway Theater, the Terrace Theater was a bit outside the city limits, but still on the north side and all the rest of it. And I loved going to any one of them. Then the Cooper Theater came along, what's still called Candlestick Park, because the New York Giants were going to move to Minnesota, and that's where the stadium was going to be. And then they instead moved to San Francisco. So they put a theater there and said it, but it's still called Candlestick Park, which is, of course, where the Giants play. But that experience of going to those 4 or 5 different theaters, and then also to go visit my grandparent, my grandma and grandpa, Barnard, and Minnie Dane, my mother's mother. They're in the town of Long Prairie, a town at that time of about 1,200 people. They had their own movie theater, and it was a completely different. I guess what I'm trying to say is every movie theater you went into was wonderful, and it was a completely different experience. I love that.
Yeah, that's what makes, movie going, I think, because I can always remember, like, when my mom would take me to Disney movies, they weren't available. Disney Channel wasn't available when I was a little kid, so it was one of those situations. You'd have to wait until the release of Bambi when they would re-release it, or Snow White. And so it was always so special going to the movie theater. And that, everything's accessible now. Everything is accessible to us at 24/7 if you want to go and see it. So Hollywood has to really start to think outside the box and give us a reason to go back to the theater. And it can also be reviving movies that we haven't seen on the big screen in a while and developing an experience around that. But
Leah, and do remember that. Had The Godfather come out now, would it be as big? Maybe not, because it wouldn't be. The big screen was huge for that movie. Don't you think?
But what if a theater did a weekend of the Godfather trilogy,
Love it.
and then dress up like your favorite mobster? I mean, like, get a theme dressing right now on the red carpet is huge. Zendaya and Challengers, everything was tennis themed. Barbie, everything was hot pink. We saw that for Dune as well. Make the theater goers, like, cosplay is a big deal at conventions. Why not come and dress as a mobster? Please don't bring your guns, but please don't leave them at home. But I think people would really get into it. And then over the weekend, maybe you don't want to sit there all day on a Saturday watching 3 Godfather movies, but maybe, Friday is part 1, Saturday's part 2, part 3 is on Sunday. I think people would do it. And I think maybe smaller theaters are able to sort of wrap their brains around this and be more creative. But even if you've got a Cineplex of 6 theaters, you can dedicate one theater to that over a weekend.
No question about it. We'll close with this. One of my favorite experiences was a very big deal. They built a movie theater down between 7th and 8th and Hennepin in downtown Minneapolis. I think it might be a nightclub now. What used to be the Skyway Theater there.
Oh, yeah, the Skyway is still there, but it's not a movie theater.
No.
It's like a performance venue for DJs and bands and stuff.
Oh, it is. Okay, that's what it is. But you know why it was so special to Tommy?
Why is that?
You had to take an escalator to get up to it. Oh, very snazzy. I thought.
Fancy.
That was fancy, man. No question about it.
That is elite.
Mom, I'm on an escalator right now going up to the show place for the movie, and I think the last movie I saw there was, God, I don't even remember. All right, young lady, you did a magnificent job as always.
Thank you very much. And just remind me tomorrow, Tevin, we've got to talk Gen V.
Yeah, I was saying, saw some headlines, so I'm.
Yeah, so we'll talk Gen V tomorrow, some of those updates.
All right. We got a tomorrow planned ahead.
Tomorrow planned.
All right. Works for me. Thank you. Kristen Bird, Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabankco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. I miss movie theaters. Thanks a lot for booking that.
Yeah, it makes me want to go to a movie now.
Yeah, I'm looking at box office times right now. Looking at show times right now.
What do you got? But, and then, of course, along came the shopping centers. And for us, of course, that was in Brooklyn Center. Mm-hmm. I think it was just called Brookdale at the time. It's not. The whole thing is just gone now, unfortunately. But for a kid from North Minneapolis to hop in his buddy's car and go out to the Brooklyn Center Theater at Brookdale, that was a very big deal, man. And now it's just gone, unfortunately. So hopefully we can hang on to some of these things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially because some of them are just so iconic, like the Gold Bar. What's it? The Mann Theater.
Yeah.
Here, with the Gold Bar and stuff. Yeah, you would hate to lose places like that.
Michelle Mann, we got to have her on again one of these days. She's a terrific guest. Michelle Mann of the Mann Theater family. All right, fellas, we will talk to you tomorrow. The family show's up next.